Right, guys, I just want to give some pre-fight thoughts to the Thomas Almeida and Sugar Sean O'Malley fight. Thomas Almeida's walking out now. My official prediction, I may as well give it the start. I do think O'Malley will get the finish, knockout. Probably second round, based on the fact that Thomas Almeida he almost reminds me of a bit of a Jose Aldo type. Good Muay Thai and essentially kickboxing. Can be a little flat-footed at times. I expect Sean to have physical attributes as being taller, longer. He moves better, side to side, in and out. Cuts better angles. Throws a more diverse variety of strikes. And when he pops people, touches them clean, they go down. So that's what I'm thinking. I feel like probably a lot will be made of these low calf kicks. I imagine you'll hear the commentators talk about them before the fight at some point. You can expect Thomas Almeida to try and at some point go after that, but you don't want to make it so obvious because Sean will already know that he's going to try and do that, which is almost going to set himself up for failure beforehand because he's going to put himself in a position that Sean already will have prepared for. What else is there to cover? I'm just not sure where he can be better than Sean. I think he's going to find it hard to get in close, like it showed in the highlights. When he gets people up against the cage, lands phenomenal body shots, really digs into the body. I don't feel like Sean will ever be caught in that situation. He just moves too well. He's going to touch him up from the outside, I believe. What else is there? Realistically, this fight's not going to the ground. No one's shooting any takedowns. It's just a matter of who lands that clean shot first. Who's going to even have the opportunity, based on their styles, to land the clean shot. Sean's going to be moving the entire time. So he's constantly going to be fighting from the outside. I just don't think that Thomas is going to be able to close the distance to land the shots that he needs to land. And that's my prediction anyway. So, shall I keep rolling or just start when the fight starts? I'll probably come back when the fight starts, and then we'll see how much of my prediction comes to fruition. That's it. Right, guys, so the fighters are just getting announced now. Something I forgot to mention before. So you've got Thomas Almeida, he's lost 4 out of his last 5 fights. He never really regained his mojo after the Cody Garbrandt knockout. Your skill set never dwindles or gets worse. All it is your confidence to throw with the right intention. And it's rough. Anyway, so you've got Sean O'Malley coming off his loss to Cheeto Vera. Lost his O. Fight's about to start. Sean started. Fight. Alright. Why does this camera keep falling? Alright, so Sean's doing his typical, very elusive sort of movement. Thomas has got a nice high guard. So they're already going into the calf kicks that I was talking about. They're going to mention it obviously as a weapon for Almeida. Almeida just landed one down, which was nice. O'Malley returns with one. Alright, so those front kicks down the middle will be a very good weapon for Sean. It's cool to see that Sean's fighting relatively patiently, respecting at least the power of Almeida, not completely dismissing him regardless of his past few fights. You got Sean constantly switching stances, throws a spinning back kick with followed by the 1-2. Oh, he cracked him. So it just seems like Almeida doesn't have as many tools to hit Sean with as Sean does to hit him. Sean's super slick with his movement, very elusive. He gives you a lot of different looks, sets you up with shots. Again, DC reiterating what I already thought. Another good calf kick by O'Malley. His hair looks like a fucking... It's like a human rainbow. If he wins this, might get 50 G's with that pot of gold at the end. Oh, there's the head kick. Rocked him. He's hurt bad, and he's hurt bad. He should have finished it then. He got too cocky. Dude, that was so clean. Oh. You know what? Considering what Sean just landed, he's sort of recomposed himself very well. I think Sean should pace himself, not get overzealous. And he's not. You can see by the look on his face, he's very aware that Thomas is still in the fight. Oh! Crack. Oh, he's throwing so well. I feel like he almost hurt his foot then. He hurt his own foot when he threw. Sean, oh, the way he slips out of the way. So Thomas Almeida, at least judging by the look on his face, has recomposed himself. He should have jumped on him. I mean, see, now he's in the position that he didn't have to be in. He could have finished the fight. It doesn't matter. He's here to get rounds in, and at the end of the day, when this is something that you enjoy doing, you're not going to sit there and be pissed at yourself. Like, he still believes that he's going to win. He's going to finish him anyway. He's in no rush. The shots will come. The more fatigued that someone else becomes as well, is the sloppier they'll get, the more more openings that will present themselves. Oh, another high kick. Oh, it looks like we're going to make it into round 2. Shout out to Almeida for his recovery. That was pretty slick. Also a good job by the ref. When Sean walked away and he'd obviously hurt Almeida, it's very easy for a ref to, even if they initially weren't going to stop it, they could be like, he's hurt, and just jump in. He made the right call, and you know, the fight goes on. So what can Thomas do now to try to sway the momentum of the fight? Realistically, you need to get the respect back, and the only way you can get that back is by landing something big. But it's so much easier said than done. It's easy to just say that, but to actually get into range, his best opportunities, I think, so far have been when Sean's been backed up against the cage, and Almeida's landed, but he just needs to land the right shot. That's what he needs to do, in my opinion. Even try and change it up, and even if he shoots a shot and doesn't get the takedown, at least he's in a grappling position, which might lead to something. I don't want to watch him continue to fight from this range, because that plays into Sean's game. He's going to have to change things up. Again, try and shoot a takedown. Pressure, pressure, pressure. I tried to push Sean against the cage. Again, easier said than done. It looks like Sean hurt his foot, man. It'll be interesting to see what pretty significantly. But you know what though, the shots that Almeida has landed have been effective. Whether it's from the low kicks or the shots he's landed on the chin. Oh. To be fair, they look fast every time he fights. His punches are fast, his kicks are fast, when he spins is very fast. Sean's body type, not just for the weight division, but for fighting in general, the tall, the lean, the way his hips are, very fast twitch. So every time that Almeida tries to counter, Sean then tries to counter his counter, but because Sean's longer, it just seems like he can reach him sooner. But Almeida's holding his own so far. Obviously, I have Sean winning the fight, but it's not a blowout by any means. The most significant thing that was landed was the first round. It's crazy to think that that could have been the end of the fight, and here we are. Again, Rogan there mentioned the diversity of Sean's strikes, which is something that a lot of fighters lack, by the way. A lot of fighters they might be very good at a few things they do, but they lack diversity, so you can almost, it's a lot easier to prepare for someone that isn't as diverse, because they haven't got as many tools to worry about. With Sean, he can give you so many different looks, you don't actually know what he's going to throw. Constantly feinting, constantly moving. Another good low kick, again, by Almeida. Sean going after that knee. Trying to stifle Almeida's forward pressure. Oh, that wasn't good. He slipped there. Remember, Sean got finished from this position on his back against Cheeto. If you watch his grappling sessions, the uploads on his YouTube channel sometimes, between him, his coach Tim Welsh, and their training partners, he's a really good grappler. Hasn't really gotten a good chance to demonstrate that in any of his UFC fights, but it'd be awesome to see them having a good grappling transition, or a good grappling exchange, sorry, so that he can demonstrate. As you can still see, he's still very calm. Something that I like about Sean that I can at least resonate with is that I know that he's a guy who does meditation. He's someone who's experimented with mushrooms, where if you haven't, you don't really understand their benefit on the mind and the brain. If you've ever trained on them, you would think like, man, fighting on mushrooms, like that must be crazy and really shitty. It's actually the opposite. The way that it makes you hyper aware, and you can see the shots coming before they've even been thrown. It's really hard to describe unless you've actually experienced it, especially on a really high dose of mushrooms. It's almost like, sounds crazy again, unless you've actually experienced it, but it's almost like as if things are fated to happen, so you can see it before it actually happens. Anyway, the fact that Sean is into that sort of stuff and into meditation, I'm also into those things, and yeah. I feel like that plays a drastic part into Sean's mentality. Now, people can go into the whole mentally undefeated thing and like the whole meme about it, but realistically, if he doesn't just say that, and that's his actual mindset, You can shit on him all day long, as long as he believes it. Oh, another good low kick. There's you can't really quantify how beneficial that actually is to someone. That sort of mentality. You know, it's only a negative if it's false belief. Stomps on that knee again. Oh, cracked and nailed that right. Another good low kick, got partially checked. Just giving him a lot of different looks right now. He done the same thing to Eddie Wineland. Like feinted the uppercut and then cracked him straight down the middle. Back kick. Was this the finishing sequence or is this 1-2? Good front kick to the body. Good 1-2. A really good fight overall, actually. Split the guard. Again, as a fan, that was a great fight. This is why you can never judge someone based on their record. Because even though Almeida is probably losing this fight, and lost 4 of his last 5, he's fighting well. What could be a good next fight for him? Blown out by any stretch of the imagination. Realistically, who's ahead of him? You want to give the guy a top 15. And that's actually unfortunate because he's sort of like a Tyron Woodley. Like, I'd love to see him. He fought Cheeto, regained his mojo, and come back. And I don't think anyone really cares about that rematch unless they meet because he obviously further up the line. So, if anything, I'd have to go through the rankings in his previous fights. I'd still love to see him fight Cody Garbrandt, but I know Cody Garbrandt's got a fight scheduled. And even if Cody wins, he's closer to a title shot than what Sean is. So you can't. I feel like Sean's going to be upsetting himself if he doesn't get the finish. But he's certainly not going to chase it, which is also a very underrated fight IQ. So a quick look up at the clock. He's got 2 minutes to work. A spinning back fist into a spinning roundhouse kick. Right. You know what though? Even when he landed that head kick, you can tell when someone's like, by the look on their face, the look in their eyes, when they're completely out of it, which is probably shared out to the ref why he didn't stop it. I don't feel like Almeida ever had that look. He was definitely hurt, he stumbled, but he's been in it ever since he got back up. Oh, we got cracked. Sean, oh, he's out now. Now he's got that look, yeah. There you go. Sean O'Malley gets the finish, and that's the look I'm talking about. You can see when someone gets cracked and they want no more of it. And his patience was prevalent. Incredibly high fight IQ. He never chased the finish. He let the finish, essentially it found itself. He just went in there and fought. It's so unfortunate for Thomas Almeida that the matchup, I'm sure he was beforehand excited for the matchup. Alright, so is this the finish? You got spinning back kick to the body. Really good calf kick.